Hello, hello. We finally have this translated. I know I made a video on this, I think, talking about this earlier, or I just made a link. I think I made a video. Yeah, I made a video. Anyways, so we have everything translated to English now, so now we can finally get like a good read on this. So let's dive right into it. And this is a recap of that meeting I was talking about last time, if you remember, the one in Korea. It was like the 8-hour thing, where players were talking directly to the developers and asking their things and so on. So they have basically recapped everything here. And there's of course going to be a link in the description as well, if you want to read it instead of listening to me. So here we are. Just going to give some thoughts and read through it, basically. So let's see here. Yeah, so they're gonna do some changes for new guardians. Beginner missions are going to be increased and some new missions are added. That's nice. And there's gonna be more and more stuff added as we go, it seems. And yeah, that's awesome. New players, that's for sure. Guardian level and sweep revision. So okay, so this is about the HQ, I believe. They're gonna change like the requirements and like I think to make sweep accessible earlier for people, which is good because that's like such a convenient thing in quality of life. Obviously, I remember back in the days when it didn't existed. For new players that may be listening, it has not always existed. So yeah, that was very different. I remember if you would have like, I mean, on a normal update now, I would have like maybe 2,000-3,000 stamina, you know, from the packs, and I mean, you would have to put the game overnight. I mean, and I wasn't that strong back then because I didn't whale initially. So you could put, and you would do like 100 runs or 200 runs or something in a mirror dungeon, and then you go to bed, and then you wake up and see that you did like 20 and then died, and the game is just sitting there. It's like, oh my goodness. So yeah, that's interesting to say the least. But yeah, they're gonna be doing some changing some requirements here, and yeah, that's cool. And the Guardian base camp, I think they're gonna increase the point production rate. Yeah, so I think it was some percentages that I read about earlier, like 33%. I don't know. You will have to see that, but it's nice anyways. And then there's going to be an in-game shop with exclusive missions to accomplish for returning guardians. All right. So yeah. I think if you have been offline, yeah, for 14 days, there's gonna be like a shop to kind of fill that gap, I guess, or you know, to give some little bonus as a little welcome back thing. So that's pretty cool. Legendary weapons are going to be changed. Okay, so the update after the World 14 update that we're seeing now, that would be the update with the bingo machine. We saw something earlier. There's going to be a bingo apparently, and the rest of World 14. On that update, they are going to change so we can't buy legendary weapons anymore from mileage, and then that's coming back on the update after that, I believe it was. And then they're going to cost 100 mileage instead. So that's nice. And yeah, here it says, got to be removed temporarily. And yeah. If you spent anything earlier on them, you're not gonna get the mileage back, so don't do that, of course. And upgrading multiplayer content. First of all, random matching will be added in friendly. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna let us do random matching for friendly matches. And spectator mode is also in development, which is awesome. 3v3 deathmatch is also in development, which seems really cool. That's really awesome. I'm not sure if that's going to be like a friendly thing or if it's going to be like a new arena mode where it's going to be 3v3. I have no idea actually, but I can't wait for that, definitely. And here is some other things as well. Let's see, Spectator 3v3 are currently in development and no other modes exclusive to friendly match plan. Instead of working on content for... Okay, want to focus on adding new modes. Yeah, that makes sense though, because I think after this it's going to be perfect, because that's pretty much what we wanted. Change the arena maps, and of course have the spectator mode. The only thing I can, you know, want is like a button to click so you max out all the stats for that game, you know, so everyone has the same stats, or you know, to make like to get rid of the... I think that would be pretty cool, especially for the tournament that we're running too, so everyone would have like the same stats. But yeah, either way, more special comics. The new... Yeah, okay. So there's gonna be some new comics. That's awesome, with some more story stuff. And there was also some talk about the visual novels, of course. starting with new expedition content, some visual novels, yeah. So we're gonna see some dungeon link stuff as well, because there's obviously a story to be told there as well that not many people know, I believe. And game, I mean, is closed down, so you can't even play it at the moment. So I think that's really cool. And of course, some background story for some heroes that have not yet been released. Rare hero balancing and evolution, and March 25 update. Oh yeah, so Knight is getting the second weapon. We knew that. It's the Libera Type B, and also they're adding a bunch of stats to the rare heroes, making them stronger. And I saw some spreadsheets someone made as well. I think Lorraine was the one that was on the top that's gonna get the biggest upgrade. So that's cool. Maybe it's time to MLB her to have another healer ready if needed. Haven't really personally needed it, but you never know. And then there's also a new system that's going to let us make the rare heroes into unique heroes, planned for the second half of the year. And there was some talk about, I believe, some new currency to do this with, so yeah, but we don't really know that much about it at the moment, but that's pretty cool. I wonder if that's gonna, how much it's gonna change, if it's just the stat, or is it gonna change their actual, you know, their kit, and what about their weapons, because obviously their weapons are pretty underwhelming compared to the actual unique heroes. And you know, is it gonna are they not gonna release any new unique heroes at that point, and we're just gonna get these, or like what's the idea? But I really like the idea though, because I love many of the rare heroes and most of them are redundant at this point, so except for a few important ones for raid, I suppose. So yeah, that's good stuff. Raid achievements and fame rewards in second half of this year. Was planning for season achievements. Okay. Oh yeah, so there's gonna be like some season achievements. This is really cool. So season achievement rewards will consist of limited costumes, frames, emojis, fame related rewards which do not boost your statistics. So I think this is really cool. It's just stuff to collect, I mean. And yeah, no idea what achievements could be, but we'll see. And new expedition content as announced during Director, I believe it should say, Sangwon Kim's presentation for in Geared for Launch May, right? So yeah, that's the expedition content. I believe that's the one where we are gonna fight against the Chosen Ones. That's Veronica's dudes and dudettes. It's the cult, or is it cult? Religion, whatever, her team basically that she's leading. And I think that was gonna be like the story behind it or whatever. And then we have Evo Stones. We're gonna be boosting that, so that's nice. Have an old farm, it's gonna come. We had a little Farmville mode, which is pretty cute. I think it's gonna be pretty fun to micromanage, at least in the start. But yeah, some decorations and little things in there, so that's pretty cool. Having old teams, we believe that the new decorating function. Oh yeah, so maybe we can like enable the Halloween theme, you know, or like the Christmas theme and things like this, I assume. Or something like this. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Social functions, a new friend system. That is awesome. So you can like basically match people for friendly match in arena and co-op to queue up with friends. That's really, really nice. Something we've been talking about for a long time, so that's nice. And artifacts suitable, let's see here. Oh yeah, they're also going to change the artifacts in the co-op, and I'm so happy for this, because there's many times where you just got those useless ones and it's just really bad. I mean, for normal runs, I don't think it's a huge deal. Maybe other people obviously may have a harder time passing than I do, but I think that as long as you have a competent team with proper, you know, heroes and stuff, I think you're going to get through. But I can only speak for myself, of course, regarding this, and when me and Shocky are doing our solo or duo runs, oh my god, that RNG can be so crucial. It's so annoying to get like bad artifacts, so I think this is gonna definitely make it easier for us too. So I'm personally really happy for this, of course. Camazone is also gonna see some improvements, so they're gonna change it, so instead of being every 3 days, it's gonna be every week, which is really nice, I think, because at this point it's just a chore, and I mean, no one wants to do that. I'm assuming they're obviously going to scale up the rewards as well to make up for, you know, the difference. Also, they've been exploring to make it faster than 2 times speed, to make it 3 or 5 or something, but apparently it started bugging out, and it's not something they want to do now, and I think it might be for the better. I have some ideas what could happen, so but yeah, I'm glad they at least looked into it, because obviously it would be nice if they could do it, but I mean, it's fine like it is. I was also looking for some different things here. Yeah, we'll see that later. There's a generous amount of bottle caps, and if you do complete the stage thoroughly, allowing to obtain. Yep. And yeah, you're basically having excess of bottle caps, and in order to combat this, they let's see here, bottle caps, please. This costume not accessible. Yeah, don't feel stressed about not maybe being able to afford the costumes. They said it's more of a bonus, you know. And they also think that they want to release more of these, but they obviously want to address the actual issue as well. So they're gonna do some changes, and you know, once they have enough information, then they're gonna look at some costumes. So yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, they want to basically see that we have gotten the current stuff already, so it's not going to be as stressful for people. And regarding this, actually, I had some different things what I could do. So should I spend, because I'm going to have like 3,000 stamina, I believe, on the next update next week. So should I spend all that stamina on, you know, Evo Stones I was thinking about, but then I was like, nah, because I'm gonna reset my Bari, so I'm basically trading Bari for Priscilla. But then the next thing is, should I go for hammers in item dungeons? Because obviously that could be a thing too. Because you need, I believe you need like, I think it was, yeah, 4 level 25 hammers and 1 level 20 hammer for an MLB item. It's gonna be on 41%, so you will need that in order to get it to level 86 from 85. So I think I counted that I have around 130 items or so that I need to do this with, so that's a lot of hammers. But then I figured, well, I have a lot of bottle caps too, so I could just buy that, which would cost me like 250k bottle caps. But I think I'm actually going to go for that one, and then I'll just farm my mirror dungeons and you know, keep doing what I'm doing, because I'm not really using the bottle caps at the moment, and I think it's going to take a while for them to add more things for this. I mean, say 2 months at least. That's what I'm betting on at least. So within that time, I will be able to farm another, you know, like 300k, I guess. Whatever it's going to be. I'm going to be back to basically 500k, which is what I want to have, because I think 480k, I think 80k is something, it's a pattern that we've seen so far, right? So if they release a new item like the Aegis shield, then obviously I can buy 6 of them, which would be the good thing there. So yeah, I think it's fine to do this. But yeah, so there's that. New guild raid bosses. So yeah, they are going to add more bosses. So that's pretty cool. Starting with this, new bosses will be added to current to work on bosses exclusive for new content. Okay, cool. So from July they're gonna look into implementing new raid bosses for us, which is nice. Hopefully they're gonna be good. And they also want to first prioritize some PvE story, I assume, new bosses and such. So that's nice. And then we have practice mode added to guild raids. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so you can practice basically when the raid is not open. For any boss, maybe you can just use the boss and stuff, and you can also set the environment, such as the HP, starting HP of the boss and such, you know, so you can use SSBs or MS or whatever it could be, or some bosses even change their patterns when they're below a certain amount of HP, so that's nice. Then we have some quality of life for the guild. Let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. To reduce the issues for the final hit of bosses and bosses avoiding issues beginning of battle, we are preparing an option to carry over the remaining time for defeating a boss to the next battle if you defeat a boss with your party early. This will be offered once per party. Not exactly sure what that one means, but what it sounds like is that it's going to help a lot of guilds, especially the strong ones, on day one, because then you have those bosses with very little HP, right? And then you kill them in like 2 seconds, and it's like, haha, just a waste. So, you know, I think this could be something that could be utilized really nicely. Not exactly sure how it's going to work, but let's say I kill the boss in you know, 55 or 5 seconds, then I have 55 seconds that I can maybe carry over to my next attack, and then I can instead have 2 minutes on you know, a 30 million boss or something, you know, one-shot it. That could be pretty cool, if that's how it's gonna work. And also, they know that we have our spreadsheets and stuff. Yep, we do indeed. That's a lot of work. So they basically wanna make that nicer. I should probably link them our spreadsheets, and maybe you guys should do that too, so they kind of know what we're tracking. So it's not like they're adding this thing, but it's not actually as good as the spreadsheet, so people will just keep using the spreadsheet because that kind of makes it useless. So they are actually showing all the information that we will want to know. So that's something I really hope that they are gonna that's gonna look good. But yeah, definitely a lot of work there. Ranking board, let's see here. Oh, kind of like the Guild Conquest thing, I guess, with the rankings there. Probably. So you can see some ranking maybe. Contribution. Oh wait, this is about the Guild Conquest. Let's see. contribution fame in the guild. Conquest will also be added to guild raids. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. I like leaderboards. Weighted value, added damage dealt during guild raids and reducing the guild raid duration. Okay. There are no plans to add weighted values to damage dealt in guild raids or reduced. Okay, there's no plans. That's good, because yeah, I think that's like annoying. We do use some weighted values actually, so we kind of multiply our attacks depending on if the boss. So if you have some really shitty boss, you could have some really annoying boss. Let's say fairy, for example, just to look at the next raid, and then you compare the fairy to like a water marina or you know, or a fire demon or something that's basically just a scarecrow. In comparison, you know, we do add our own weight to that to kind of get the balance of, you know, the damage, and we're kind of using our modified damage, as we call it. But that's just a thing, internal thing in the guild, of course. But yeah, I think it would just mess things up. So setting a guild raid damage weight to yeah, we create a gap between what the developers should set as the weighted value and what the players believe it to be. Yeah, and I mean, there's always going to be different opinions on that too, and it also differs on guilds. You know, sometimes a high weight could be based on a specific boss just because of the element and because people don't have that many teams for that, you know, but that's obviously very different from guild to guild, you know. So I think that yeah, they are doing the right thing there. Guild raid rewards are set for a duration of 14 days currently. As guild raids are regular, periodic content offering game, reducing the duration given reward content could damage the game economy, and this is something we cannot progress with. Reducing the duration of the guild raid would mean reducing the rewards offered and keeping the content period and rewards. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that if you read this as well. But yeah, I like this. I think 14 days is fine. I mean, you know, if it's only 1 week, I mean, it's over before you even start in a way. So I think they are doing the right thing there. Call to live changes to Guild Conquest, right? This is going to be an interesting read. Right, so they're going to add a new Guild Conquest on May 5th update. That's May 17th for us in Global. And let's see, they will lower the difficulty. Normal nodes will become normal battles, and special nodes will become boss battles. Okay, with this change we plan on reducing the cases that arise from being unable to fight a boss that fits your hero type that appears midway through the nodes. Yeah, thank you. We expect guild members of lower specifications would also be able to take strategic part in the higher level areas. Yeah, I mean, it is overtuned, and even I'm saying that. We killed Elvirabium both times, and I mean, even I was scared. And you know, I have a maxed out account, you know, and like sometimes you could get one shot by something, you know. My guildmates also had, I think I had a guildmate, he did like 700k damage, and then he did like 1.3 million or something just because some bullshit happened, you know. And I don't think that's fun, you know, where you want to obviously push as much damage as possible, and I think it's not a good way to do things, honestly. While at it, I think that Doom Tower on Arabelle is pretty stupid too. That just interrupts, you know. It's not fun, you know, and it's not hard in a good way, it's just stupid, you know. Because that's the thing with this game, like, if you have the chain ruin, that's like so much damage as a loss. So, yeah. I ended up doing 20 million, by the way, on Elvirabium, so I'm pretty happy for that. But I mean, it could have gone wrong too, so it's a big gamble on that thing. So I think that boss was definitely overtuned. Not to mention all the HP, of course, of the step 3 nodes, where the bosses range from 180 to 330 million. It's just crazy because you only have one target at a time. So people are like, we're like pinging people constantly, like, oh, now this boss is up, and then people have to do their attacks. Then, you know, it takes a while, and it's just really stupid. So. And yeah, the first time on the first thing, I think we ended up on 105 reward points or so. We were top 1 by a little bit because the other guys were like farming other stuff. We were the only ones to kill Elvirabium. Now on the second one, I know that the damage or the score thing was bugged, which definitely didn't work in our favor considering that it reset later than it should. So guilds that were able to attack early benefit a lot, so we had like no chance to get top 1. However, that was not something we wanted even. Our goal was to get as many reward points instead, so we actually went for Elvirabium again, killing all the small bosses after, and we ended up with 50% more reward points than the top 1 to 5 guilds, I believe. And there was another guild as well, Golden Sun. Big good job for that, by the way, for also killing Elvirabium, and I believe we got a lot more. However, we got more rewards than the ones that actually got top 1. However, they are top 1 and we are not, even though we killed the last boss. And we didn't even get that much reward. It's like 250 gems or something stupid, you know, which does not reflect the amount of stress and annoyance that it takes to do what we did instead of just chilling around in step 2 and just clearing all those small nodes. So yeah, you can obviously hear how unreasonable it is. So I hope they're gonna change the rewards as well, and not just how it is, because even they make it easier, it still is gonna take some tryharding to a certain point, which doesn't really reflected by the rewards. So it doesn't really make any sense. Anyways, let's see. Ticket pop up, yeah, okay, claim all, okay, that's nice, I guess, but yeah. So basically, I hope they know what they're doing, and also maybe the layout would make a lot more sense in step 3. Maybe instead of having 4 missile launchers, it would be nice to have only one that disables all the stuff on the boss. Maybe. This is just some stuff we talked about within the guild, and you know, having some good stuff on the path that you can pick up, you know, for more damage and such, and obviously lowering the HP of the bosses. And then there's obviously the bonus boss as well, which is that 900 million Elvirabium, which is just a joke, because I mean, who is gonna kill that? Like, no one. If they want to keep a high HP boss like that, what I suggested would be that once you kill the Elvirabium, you unlock all of the buildings previously that are not trucks or, you know, buildings that don't buff stats or anything like that. So basically you would be like super buffed and do like crazy amounts of damage, which would be fun, because then it feels like that kind of bonus thing where you do like 50 or even more, 50 million, you know, in one go, and then you could definitely take on that. But at this point, it's like it doesn't make sense to go for that. So yeah, I hope they are definitely gonna do these improvements, but they obviously are aware that it didn't turn out as nice as they were hoping for. So then we have the tower. Heavenhold Tower is going to be expanded to 100 stages in total. Then they're going to move on to Horizon, which is nice. So then, now we know that plan, and I think the next tower is going to have 88 stages, was it? I think we have 81 now. So yeah, it's going to be a lot more. That's nice. And they're going to maybe add... they're discussing to add a surrender option in Arena and Colosseum, which is nice, because I see people rage quit sometimes, and obviously that takes time, so it wouldn't be making it a lot easier for those. They can just give up basically and get into the new one. Practice mode added to Colosseum, so basically they don't want to do that, which makes sense, because then you can just perfect everything and it doesn't make sense. The whole mode at the moment doesn't make sense, in my opinion, because you can't farm people and you can't do anything about it if someone is getting fed, you know. So it's kind of stupid as it is, but obviously this wouldn't really help. So I do agree to a certain, to like a point. I see why people would want it, obviously, but at the same time, I think you have to just, you know, get better as you go, you know, because I mean, having this practice mode would just be like super OP, because then you can just keep going until you find something, and then you would basically never lose. And I don't know, it's yeah, I think it's the right decision not to add it, but I do also think that Colosseum mode should be changed as a whole, because they kind of went halfway with what they wanted. But as we have said before, they should probably remove the names on who we are attacking, the fact that you can't attack the same player 3 times a day, so you can't feed them, and you only have one try then, and you know, not showing the rank and stuff like that, so you just have to go and, you know, you don't know who you're meeting. I think that would be better. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Allowing previous records to be visible. Okay. Hiding attack part and defense part will solve this issue. Prevent abuses, promote Discord. It needs to be more direct process. Okay. Carefully review. Okay. I'm too tired to read this one. You can do that yourself. You can pause the video in 3, 2, 1, go, and let's move on. It's a lot of text. I was just thinking of doing a short one, but now we are 23 minutes in here, so I just want to kind of wrap it up here. Presets added to Arena and Colosseum. Yes, this is nice. They want to do presets, and that's also going to include positioning, as far as I know. I hope so. Arena presets currently difficult to prepare, but in order to make it up for this, we're planning to expand equipment presets allowed in some time. Okay, that's cool. Which is really nice. We want more presets. That's really nice. And you guys know how I'm doing. You see that in the start of every of my arena videos. You can use presets for arenas at the moment as well. It's just that we're a little bit short on space on those things, but it is possible to do, just a little bit fiddly. So you can still save time and utilize the feature. You know, it's not like, oh, it doesn't work. You just have to do it outside of the arena menu, which obviously could be better, but yeah. Tie games added to Arena. Prevent and abuse. Right, so there was some talk about actually giving point, because it's annoying to get a tie, but obviously you can abuse the shit out of this by just not playing, as they say here. So let's say I meet you who are listening here, and we are friends, and then we are like, oh, let's just boost each other, so we don't touch anything. Wait 1.5 minutes. 30 seconds time 3, and then we both get points, and we can just do this for the whole week, you know, by playing like super late or whatever in the slot, so it's like easy to get each other. So yeah, I understand that they are not going to do this. I understand people may want it, you know, but obviously since there are people who do things unfairly, we can't have nice things sometimes, so I think that's a good idea indeed. Chance to try out unique heroes, and there's going to be a new feature that we can try the banner heroes, I assume, in some kind of way, which is really good. Get a feel of it and stuff. Like right now, if I want to try it, I just have to pull it on my Korean account, and obviously I'm not having a lot of things there, so resources, so that's really nice. Guild versus guild, they're not going to do guild versus guild. It will apply pressure to people to... it's basically going to have guilds require you to have PvP heroes as well as PvE ones. I mean, they're not wrong, but you know, I would love this obviously, but in theory, you know, it just sucks that we can't have it, you know, obviously, because like I think it would be really cool, but at the same time, how would it even look though if we're gonna be serious here? Like 30 people in a big arena fighting, I mean, it's gonna be super messy, so I don't even know if it's gonna be that good, you know. Like, I played Dragon Riot, and it was literally like 100 people versus 100 people in a big battleground, and it was very messy, so I can just imagine how it would be here, so maybe it is for the better, I don't know. Some things just sound really good on paper, but it should probably be left on paper, so there's that. New world exploration, new merchandise. Ooh, I like this one. New world exploration stages and new merchandise are expected to be added after May, and this is really cool because I really love those stages, and I've said it many times. We have 9 common ones, 9 rare ones, but only 8 of the unique merchandise, which means there's spot for 1 more at least. And obviously, what are they gonna make? That's really exciting, so that's nice. I definitely have to grab all the option lockstones I can from those packages now, because that's pretty much what I've been doing for a while now. So yeah, a little bit stressed out actually, because I'm not really done farming my stuff. I still want to level up, you know, my second, my second vending machine. I still need to get 2 SSBs, 2 smileys, and what else is there? Maybe another t-shirt could be nice if I'm playing Beth and Eugene in the same, because I like to put the t-shirt on Beth, especially with her new playstyle now that she has her first attack buffed. I really like the t-shirt on her. I know this is luxury stuff, don't listen to me, just, you know, sharing my thought here, but overall it's a really good thing, that's what I'm saying. So let's move on. No mainstream merch balancing. Okay, so they're gonna also buff some merchandise that are not used that much. Let's see. Okay, we do may improve merchant according to matching. We will continue to make adjustments to the event rewards and beginner missions. Okay, so what are they gonna do here? Because I see they're talking about paying players and non-paying players. Like, are they gonna buff the rare ones in that case to make them a little bit more to like reduce the gap between the merch? Because that's like obviously not helping me as a whale. Nah, I'm kidding. Joke aside though, it's true, the gap is really small now. That's a whole different discussion, however. Or are they going to, you know, improve other merchandise that we have that are already unique? Because I think that the most popular ones is obviously the statues and the motherships, followed obviously by the smiley faces that are super popular in PvP and really good there. But then you have other stuff, like, I mean, in the vending machine you only like want 1, and that's it for your healer, or maybe 2, but that's pretty overkill already, you know. You can definitely use 1. What about the little princess is good, of course, for tanks and such, but I mean, what about the Ogma model? I mean, someone might be super try hard in you know, Colosseum, but I personally, at least, I don't care for Colosseum, and like, even if I have one, I'm like too lazy to even use it, so it's like, what's the idea there? Something I would think was really cool though, because the wording on that thing was really weird in the start when it came out, so we were thinking that it was going to improve the damage if your hero is a tank, not like against tanks. So that would be pretty cool if it actually increased a tank's damage by, you know, 25. That would be really awesome actually. Probably want 3 then. 1 from Arena, 1 from Arena, and 1 from Future Princess. But yeah, anyway, no idea what they're gonna do there, but I'm really like excited to see what they're gonna do there. New co-op mode. Yeah. Adding new around to prevent launch this. Okay, they don't have too much information there, but they're gonna do something to co-op and co-op defense. Okay. Yeah, so they're gonna do it as a separate content and not like co-op, because right now you have like every second week there's a co-op, which is defense or normal co-op. So yeah, it's just gonna make it so you'll have co-op defense like every, what is it gonna be, like 6 weeks or something. It's like, yeah, so I think that makes sense, you know. But the whole model is obviously really cool, so if they can add it as something else, that would be really nice. They also wanna lower the difficulty of co-op and adding a hard mode, maybe. Let's see what it says. We're aware that moderate levels of difficulty lead to fun, but we're actually reducing overall rewards. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Also for hardcore player modes, there are various opinions. Okay, that could be pretty cool. So yeah, maybe adding it as some kind of achievement or something, you know, and like. And yeah, it's pretty much a chore, I guess, for many. So I think that it shouldn't be too hard to just do the weekly thing, you know. But it's cool if there is some challenging thing as well. And like I've said many times, give us an endless mode with a leaderboard and maybe even rewards that could lead to some cool costumes and stuff. That'd be really cool to really push, you know, the highest levels or floors or whatever. I think that could be extremely cool. Said it many times. So mirror accessories. We're planning to slightly increase the stats of element type. So yeah, the mirror accessory is basically going to have a little bit higher stats. That's pretty cool. And adjust the difficulty of option changes. Okay. However, although it can be obtained most definitely, the difficulty of option changes will be increased very slightly as to consider the original intentions. Okay, so it's going to be harder to get it? That's not nice. It's already hard. Or maybe this is some kind of preparation for the third slot in the training room, actually. Because I think that's going to be an accessory slot where the current stats on the item is going to be maxed out. Not sure though. But I mean, it would make sense to put a mirror accessory in there, so. Which one is a whole different story, but yeah. But yeah, I think they should make it easier, if anything, because those are so annoying to max out. Or like to get the right stat combination even. Let alone getting high stats in all of those. And there's also some talk about extracting mirror accessories to give magic metal, but there are no plans to do so because they think that they still want people to farm that stuff, so there's that. And as for Earth Necklace, there's a lot of talk about people wanting these, of course, and the plan is to add some kind of poor man's Earth Necklace, if I understand correctly. So it's probably going to be like a legend version of it, or even a rare, or what's it called, orange or yellow, I don't know what those are called. That will be like a weaker version of it, basically, that could be used while still waiting to get the Earth Necklace. I'm personally not really having a stake in this argument, honestly. I know a lot of people want them and they want it to be easy to get them, you know. I could obviously sit here and be like, oh, I don't want that, because then everyone will get one. Well, I still have 5, so if they are not giving it to people, it's like fine for me, because then obviously it gives me an edge. But if they do give one to everyone, I'm obviously part of everyone, so I'm going to have a 6 then. So I'm not complaining there either, so I'm super neutral on that one, you know. But yeah, so there's that. They have no information where it's going to be from, however. But yeah, there's that. And then they're gonna nerf the 57th floor in Heavenhold Tower. I'm not sure what's on there, if you're listening still. And please let me know what's on there, actually. I'm not in the game at the moment, so I can't check. But I don't know what's so scary about that one, because I heard a lot of complaints about it. The difficulty will be lowered on, okay, there. And range damage, okay, so they're gonna do some changes to some monsters and stuff in there, basically. And then visibility improvements to monsters' laser skills and ranged skill explosion effects. Okay, so it's those pimps, I guess, and those succubi with the lasers. I guess there's gonna be some kind of telegraphs and stuff showing where it's gonna be. And hopefully it's gonna be like, you know, when you're running, you could have like the timer, the cast timer could be like on the edge of the screen, you know. So if you're, you know how it looks like if you're playing some kind of PUBG or what's it called, COD or whatever, where you have those icons, like if you don't see them on the screen, they're like on the edge of the screen. That would be really cool, actually. You can see something is over there and it's charging now, because that would obviously solve the Arabelle problem as well, actually, on Guild Conquest, where you have that stupid tower interrupting you all the time. So then you would actually see the cast time of that thing. So I think that would be pretty cool. Help in game systems, okay. They're gonna change some beginner stuff, learn people to get into the game. I think that's nice. Damage reduction option change. So damage reduction options will be all changed. Okay, so they're basically gonna remove, I believe, the damage reduction on Hero Awakenings, which is nice, because that stat is pretty useless. and weak compared to all other good stuff, where it's like percentage. And I heard some stuff about actually looking over how the whole damage reduction thing works as well, so I think that could be pretty cool actually. Fire type hero balancing. Okay. Right, so there's gonna be a new fire hero in May. That's gonna be really nice for guild raid apparently. Hopefully that could be maybe what Clara was supposed to be. But yeah, that's nice. And here is this one that I'm really happy to see, because a lot of people asked me last time. And yes, the collaboration will return for 2 weeks at the end of the year. That's the Slayer's next collaboration. Lina, Celos will be available as pickup heroes, and Guru will be and his exclusive weapon will also appear in the event, probably as a roadmap. And the short stories will also be available in this same period. So that's really good news, everyone. There you have it. It's gonna come back. So if you didn't get them now, then you can get them later. So that's nice. What's gonna happen after that, though, that I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be the last chance, but yeah, you know, there's a lot of time to save up for it anyways. And collaboration here on other hero balancing. Oh yeah, so additional balances changed to collaboration heroes is difficult due to contractual issues. So I guess there is some agreement on how strong or what things these heroes should be. Maybe, you know, I can assume that a lot of it has to do with the kit as well. Like they have to have these things because that's what they have in the anime, you know, with like how things look and how it behaves, you know. So I assume it's a lot of that kind of stuff. We're aware that Celos is one of the more difficult heroes to utilize, so we'll try to discuss giving him additional balance changes. However, making balance changes to heroes that are currently unobtainable is problematic, and there are no plans to make general hero balancing unless there is something applied commonly used to. Yeah. So I've obviously said it many times here, Celos is not the strongest of the bunch. His skill damage is still good, obviously, but that's pretty much it. So I mean, if that goes wrong, you don't really have much, you know. So while he could use something there, obviously don't want to ruin anything there. And it's kind of dangerous too, you know, because there are other heroes that are like actually have a lot more potential. Take Lucy, for example. She's a downright broken hero, if you ask me, but she can be difficult to play, or not difficult to play, but she actually requires some kind of discipline to play, and people complain and then they buff her, and then it's just super OP for those people who can play her. So you obviously have to be really careful with those kind of things too, and I could see Celos being one of those. You probably saw in the game today, like, whereas my guild there, never met one, and there's not many of them either, by the way, for good reason. But you know, it could make things really broken, where you have a hero that's like very niche but really weird, and then, you know, you just buff it so much, and then, you know, it's like, oops, we did too much, and then they can't really go back because they don't really nerf heroes in this game. So gotta be careful on that one. As for Lina, yeah, she basically surprised them and did really well in Colosseum. They didn't expect that, so there's that. And they want to, instead of nerfing her, they want to add new heroes and, you know, buff new heroes, or existing or new ones that can instead, you know, change the meta once again. In addition, let's see here, we'll continue. Yeah, that's what I said. And then there's a new combo skill, right? So we have the, what's it called, Shine Spark and something else. They want to do something there, and then there's some post-it things here as well, which I have no idea what it says. So let's maybe be able to figure this out if we go to this website here. Well, that didn't work. Can we maybe? Okay, there's something about the arena, but yeah, I think we need something here. We need some help on this one. But yeah, so basically the director has some stuff on his computer there. But yeah. But yeah, team combo skills. I think at least one thing that I would love to see personally is that you change the team combo skills. So basically the warrior ones would also apply to tanks, and the ranged one would apply to support as well. So you can actually use them more. Because I mean, we're kind of never using them because you're not really playing a full warrior party, or, you know, or range party. You usually bring a tank or healer. So I think, and they're really cool, I mean, and really fun to use. So I think that could be fun to add to that, you know. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for bearing with me here for like 40 minutes. Oh my god. Anyways, see you later, and thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.